Deadlines are a useful tool for getting stuff done. And when it comes to my YouTube channel, there's nothing more beneficial than the impending doom of an upload date. But lately, I've been finding it difficult to find the motivation and discipline to get to work. August 31st, 2018 is the release date for my next video, and today is the 29th. In the midst of losing my mind, I decided to do what any rational person would do: start over from nothing. The only way I could see that being possible is if I challenged myself to complete a song in the style of an artist that I liked. I'm thinking Taku because I've listened to him for a while now. I really resonate with his style. The challenge: 1. Complete a song in the style of Taku, an Australian instrumental hip-hop producer, and 2. All the sounds must be recorded by me. Knowing that the clock was ticking, I got to work and began drawing an outline of what the day's work would consist of. Okay, so this is my little game plan for today. Oh my god, I don't have that much time. I soon realized I didn't have that much time. So I quickly began my research phase, and after an hour of listening, I found some interesting things. Currently 3:21. So here are the more interesting things that I've found. I discovered from breaking down his debut album, his style is very minimalistic but very atmospheric. He tends to focus more on the richness of his percussive elements because it's very unusual and it keeps you intrigued. At least that's what I wrote. Very unusual, keeps me intrigued. It has a lot of stereo imaging on the percussion. That's something that I really enjoy. There's so much texture to it. There's a lot of, grainy, atmospheric sound that is consistently in the background. Now, for a pitch aspect of it, the harmonics tend to be very jazzy, so that's a lot of 7ths, 9ths, 13ths, 11ths. I made a list of his instruments, again, for this album. He really likes piano, which, good job, because I have one of those. He uses a lot of synthesizers, a lot of atmosphere, so like pads and stuff, and he also likes to chop up samples. After absorbing as much as I could, it was time to get handsy in order to get a first handsy experience on the harmonics of his style. His biggest song right now is Love Again, which has this chord progression. And so what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and play that chord progression by ear, figure it out to get a gist of the shape of his style. I kind of figured it out. It goes something like this. But I knew that wasn't going to be enough. So as a final touch, I began the very difficult process of finding the tempo, time, and key of his top 5 songs on Spotify. Alright, so I found the general composition for top 5 songs, and now I have a better outlook at his style. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna eat something because it's almost 6 and I'm hungry. I was getting hungry. Back to my thing here. Time to record my sounds. So I'm gonna do this for the next 2 hours. It'll probably take a lot less time, but I gave myself 2 hours just for wiggle room. Right now I'm gonna make a list of all the things that I want to record. I thought the whole process was gonna be a cakewalk, but my naivete got the best of me. 8 p.m. and I'm still not done recording the sounds. Really underestimated how long it was gonna take, mostly because I forgot to take into account the filming part of it. And it didn't get any easier.
Say it. Say it. Come on.
Come on, say something. Come on. Come on. But sooner or later, I got what I needed. Yeah! There was smooth sailing from there. I was satisfied with the sounds I had recorded, but it was starting to get late and self-doubt began to creep in. I've recorded all the sounds. This took way longer than expected. I don't know why I thought it was gonna be a fun idea to make a rule of recording all of my sounds. I'm starting to have doubts about the whole thing. But I carried on. Okay, it's almost 11. Super tired. And way behind. So I'm just gonna finish organizing the samples here. Here's how I'm organizing my stuff. I put all the samples in a folder that I'm opening up directly from FL Studio. I organized them by atmosphere, percussion, and pitch. I made a bunch of audio channels, grouped them together, called it chopping block. In the session view, we have all these things. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I woke up the next morning with a heavy mind, wondering how I was going to tackle this tricky Taku track, so I went on a morning walk to formulate a plan. My plan for today is to sketch out some chords on my electric piano. And then once I have them down, I'm gonna record them on the acoustic piano. But I wasn't ready yet because my body, spirit, and mind needed to be connected as one through caffeine. At this point, I am finding the samples that I like the most and putting them on a drum rack. But I didn't have enough time to look into samples too much, so I had to go with my gut feeling. I don't have enough time to look into these too much, so I'm just going with my gut feeling. This is a rim hit, the cups hitting each other. Passport flip, I got the paper clip. I got the microphone there. If I tap it against the reeds, it sounds like this. And then I got snaps on this side. Now I had to come up with a chord progression to give the song a foundation, so I came up with one in about an hour. But it was stale. I went back to my computer to make beat patterns and add atmosphere. For the atmosphere, I used a recording of scratching my scalp and another one of jiggling keys. But then, the chords came to me. At this point, I had no time to lose. I still needed to make a lead instrument, a bass, the entire structure to the song, plus mixing and mastering, with only 2 hours left. So for my lead, I got the cat meow. I added a shit ton of reverb. I had it start in the middle, and I took the meow away so that only the tail remained, and it sounds like this now. For my basses and my secondary leads, I used the same meow, except that this time I did get the actual sound there. Still kept the reverb, added some acoustic compression, and it also makes for an interesting bass. I was on my last legs, but I had a basic song form. I've got a good intro. I call this section A. This would be section B over here. Now, it was just a matter of speed and precision to dictate the outcome of this piece. Alright, okay, so it's 1 p.m. and I just finished the thing. I did it. I felt elated. I had finally done it, and I had never felt so much joy in my life. Now it was time to finally hear it. Here's what I did. Hi, hello, this episode was brought to you by Audible. Audible is an audiobook and audio information service for your ears. They've got a huge selection of books and it's a lifesaver for when you're doing the dishes. Part of the inspiration for this video was actually a book I listened to while doing the dishes called The Music Lesson by Victor Wooten, who is just a wizard bass player. The book blew me away, and if you haven't heard about it, do yourself the favor and get the book for free by going to audible.com/ambition or text ambition to 500. You get a credit for that month, which gives you any book you want for free, and you get to keep it forever. So if you're into learning about the spirit of music, go to audible.com/ambition or text ambition to 500. Also, I've been doing a mini series on my Instagram called Sample This, where I put up an original sample that people can remix, send back to me, and get featured on my story with their beat. So if you or your parents are into that, follow me at imaginary.ambition.